What's going on, Jerome's? We're back taking a look at another Pro Football Focus first round mock draft for 2021. Our guy Austin Gayle doing some work over there, seeing where the picks go, who goes where, as well as who do the Minnesota Vikings take. I don't know. So we're going to get into it. And also, since it is PFF, they hate running backs, they hate guards, they hate everyone. So it is what it is. But starting off at the top, of course, the Jaguars clinched the number one seed, number one pick. So Trevor Lawrence, yeah. Future franchise guy. Maybe it keeps the Jaguars in the United States. I mean, that's a crazy angle that not many people have explored. But yeah, maybe the Jaguars stay planted in Duval long term. Love to see it. So number two, Jets. I think that White Suge Knight, a.k.a. Joe Douglas, is bluffing when he's talking about Darnold. So I think that he will get his guy. Remember, Darnold wasn't drafted by Douglas. That was a Mike McCagnon pick. So getting Zach Wilson, where, man, it is a big gamble. Going BYU over Ohio State, the name brand. But I love it. I love Zach Wilson. I don't believe any of the kid's a brat. Please. We're already starting BS season. But the arm, the off script, the off balance, everything is just... Protect him, Becton, protect his ass, and then Denzel Mims get open, as well as Juju, because the Jets are signing Juju 1,000%. 3, so the Dolphins, the pick from the Texans. Would be nice if the Texans had this pick, but the Dolphins get picking up Penny Sewell here. Now, Austin makes a case that maybe they go Fields, and maybe they Rosen Tua, ironically, but just getting some protection up front, seeing what Tua can do long term. Penny Sewell is absolutely going to be that guy. Put him a left tackle, put him a right tackle. Don't really care. Plug and play this young kid who's still growing into his body, by the way, which is absolutely wild. 4, so I got the Falcons, and we've talked about if you're a franchise who does not expect to be in the top 5 that often, you cannot pass on your quarterback of the future. Even though Matt Ryan's contract is monstrous, you're basically tethering him to the team through 2022. Maybe you can trade him, maybe you can get rid of him, but either way, the new GM getting his guy. And Fields, we talked about his pocket awareness and also being off script. It's questionable, right? But if you can protect him with a decent offensive line, which the Falcons do have the makings of, I'm not in love with it, but in terms of marketing, Georgia born, Georgia raised, went to Georgia for a cup of coffee, but yeah, it'll be an easy sell in the revamping of the Falcons. 5, so you got the Bengals. Now, it should be O-line, and I wouldn't be upset if they went offensive line here. Obviously, they missed out on the Penny Sewell sweepstakes, but Jamar Chase reunited with Joe Burrow, and it feels so good. I like it. Plus T. Higgins on one side, Jamar Chase on the other. Let's go. Tyler Boyd, if they re-sign him, let's go. 6, you got the Eagles. So they missed out on Jamar Chase, but they're doubling down. They're tripling down. They're not going to pass on wide receiver this time around, and Jalen Hurts needs some weapons. So Jalen Waddle coming in from Alabama. So Waddle and Rieger, you have 2 great guys who treat every single reception like a punt return. Yeah, it's hard to pass up. Next up, so 7, you got the Lions, where the Lions going to have a new GM and a head coach. Also, all 3 of their big wide receivers, Amendola, Marvin Jones, as well as Babytron, are going to be potentially free agents. So they do need some help in revamping there. And is this going to be a spot where with Matt Millen where they just take a wide receiver? Well, they eventually got Megatron. Yeah, so Devonta Smith here adding some dynamic playmaking ability as well as a return specialist to the Lions. Cool. 8, Giants. So the Giants, I like the direction overall of the Giants under Joe Judge. So it is sort of a BPA, do whatever you want to do. It's sort of like the spot that the Panthers were in last year when Derek Brown fell to them. So yeah, I'm taking Kwity Paye every single time. Betting on edge, betting on athleticism. Kwity Paye one side, Leonard Williams on the other, and go hunt. Whew. It's not bad. Next up, 9, the aforementioned Panthers. So speaking of just physical freaks just falling to the Panthers, like, oh my goodness, like what star was Matt Rule born under? But I mean, what Micah Parsons added to that already athletically, physically gifted, amazing defense. So you got Derek Brown, you got Brian Burns, you got Jeremy Chin, and just adding like, are you kidding me? Like, give this team 3-4 years, they'll be one of the best defenses in the NFL, bar none. 10, so you got the Broncos. Drew Lock is not the answer. I understand that you burned a second-round pick on him, but he's not that guy. Now, you could seriously go offensive line. I wouldn't be mad at you there. There's going to be a nice little run of O-line coming up. But, yeah, you got Judy, you got Hamler, you got Noah Fant. You have all these weapons. Drew Lock, yeah, Now, yeah, Fangio being a defensive guy, he's going to lobby for some defensive pieces, but also, is he going to be there after next season? I don't know. But yeah, Trey Lance, no pants. Get in and battle with Drew Lock right away. I like it. 11 Cowboys. So this is a pure BPA pick because the Cowboys, they definitely need some help. Like, they could use some freshening up on the offensive line. They clearly need help in the defensive backfield as well. But Kyle Pitts is absolutely uncoverable, man. He is. I know you got Amari locked up. CeeDee Lamb was a rookie. I don't think you're going to be able to pay and keep Michael Gallup. So this is planning ahead. But yeah, Pitts is just an absolute matchup nightmare. And if you do keep Dak, Kyle Pitts is going to become his best friend very quickly. 12. So you got the Chargers. You pick up Caleb Farley. You play Patrick Mahomes twice a year. So you need a 6'2" long guy who can absolutely stick with Tyreek Hill to the best of his ability, as well as he's a guy that if you want to go the route of putting your best long corner on the tight end, I mean, him checking Kelsey, that'd be a fun matchup. I'll watch that. 13. So the Vikings, you already saw. So I like Gregory Rousseau. I think he's got a ton of value, ton of upside. He did opt out for this season, but 15.5 sacks last year in 2019. That cannot be ignored. The Vikings do need a pass rush. Plus 6'6", 260, can play all along the defensive line. Kicking him inside on passing situations, DJ want him on the outside. Woo! It is a lot of fun. But I think if they're going to go this route, so Kwity Paye is off the board. For me, Kwity Paye would be an easy selection right here. But we talked about adding size and adding strength. Now, Rousseau can definitely get the edge. I do worry about his bend a little bit, but, you know, the fact that there's so many really good offensive linemen still on the board. Like Cosme's there, Darrisaw still there, Leatherwood, Slater, Wyatt Davis, no matter what, still on board. Like, I get that edge is kind of thin this year, but man, if that many great offensive linemen are still on the board and you whiff, and then you're not drafting again until the third round, barring a trade up, again, if this happens, I would be absolutely psyched. I think Rousseau and Hunter in a couple years could develop into one of the best edge rushing tandems in the league. But again, like it, don't love it, but could definitely get on board with it. 14. So you got Mac Jones. Belichick has always wanted Jimmy G back, so he just gets a younger, cheaper version. So, yeah, the absolute point guard of the Alabama offense goes into New England. Obviously, Belichick and Saban, they go way back like chiropract, so he'll be able to get all the info on Mac Jones. I'm surprised. Well, if Mac Jones ever considered going to Rutgers, he's 100% a Belichick guy. 15. So you got the Niners picking up Patrick Surtain II out of Alabama, where you have a cornerback who's adept in zone. Oh yeah, just another Richard Sherman replacement, as well as you're in the division with Nuke as well as DK. So yeah, you're gonna need as much help as you can get. 16. The Raiders picking up Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah out of Notre Dame. So JOK, this ain't no joke. So yeah, the Raiders, they need help all over the place, man. But picking up Joke in this spot. Great coverage linebacker in that division. Travis Kelce stopper, potentially. So, 17. So, the Cardinals picking up Sam Cosmi out of Texas, where he is an absolute physical freak. Like, he is the Brian O'Neill, Ezra Cleveland of this year's draft. Super athlete, and put him in at left tackle and protect Kyler's blind side. It'll be good to see there. 18. So, you got the Colts. I still like Anthony Costanzo, but he's definitely aging out, injuries as well as father time catching up with him. So getting a replacement in Christian Darrisaw makes a ton of sense. Absolutely. To protect whoever the hell the quarterback's going to be in the future. Is it going to be Rivers next year? I don't know. Is it going to be Jabroni Brisket? I don't know. Is it going to be Jacob Eason? I don't know. 19. Sorry to be so aggressive. Washington football team. So they never really replaced Trent Williams. So picking up Alex Leatherwood to protect. Probably going to roll with Alex Smith for a while. Maybe Taylor Heineke really is the quarterback in the future. I don't really know. Next up, 20. So the Bears pick up Rashawn Slater. So keeping him in Chicago. This is annoying. This is. So he can start out at guard. Eventually he might replace Leno at left tackle. This is annoying, man, because Rashawn Slater is a dog. He is a dude, and that just pisses me off. Like, Rashawn Slater, as well as Wyatt Davis, just still on board. It hurts. It does. 21. So you got Jaguars taking Tyson Campbell out of Georgia, where I like the length here, plus him being paired up with C.J. Henderson would be a great cornerback tandem. So you already got Trevor Lawrence, and now you got two really solid lockdown cornerbacks on the outside there. You really like the future in Jacksonville. And it's understandable why it's one of the most attractive GM as well as head coach destinations. 22, so you got the Browns taking Shaun Wade out of the Ohio State University. So going Shaun Wade and Denzel Ward, Buckeye at cornerbacks for Kevin Stefanski, as well as Shaun Wade, probably best suited playing inside, but also can start on the outside in base. But yeah, things looking up for the Brownies. 23. So you got the Dolphins taking Carlos Basham Jr. out of Wake Forest, where absolutely stout, 280 plus pounds, can set the edge as well as get after it, pass rushing, great athlete, as well as, I mean, the Dolphins, you got to respect what Brian Flores has been doing with that defense, because they're young and they're without like real premier talent. So if they're able to get a consistent pass rush out of Basham in this spot, come on. 24. So I got the Ravens picking up our guy Rashad Bateman, a wide receiver out of the University of Minnesota, go for Hollywood. And Hollywood, Lamar finally getting some weapons on the outside, because I know Boykins, Dez, no. James Prochet, Devin DuVernay should be incorporated, but yeah, Rashad Bateman, a nice little playmaker for Greg Roman if he remains there as OC. 25. So the Titans, Jason Oweh's really, really growing on me, man. So we've been doing some tape work on him. Just absolute physical freak, absolute monster. Like needs some refinement in the technical skills, but I mean, my goodness, that size, that speed, all the tools, everything is top tier. It's top shelf. Like him and Jeffrey Simmons and Harold Landry. Like, could you imagine Oweh and Simmons and then Landry just coming at you on third down? Cool. Awesome. 26, Tampa Bay Bucks. So 6 quarterbacks in the first round. Kyle Trask stays in state. Sunshine State, gorgeous. So BA, no risk it, no biscuit, gets his quarterback of the future for Tom Brady. I don't know if this happens. If Tom Brady does come back next year, I think there's 0% chance that they go quarterback in the first round, because it will be, hey, let's get a little bit more protection for Tom. Let's get something, whatever. Or hell, maybe they trade up for Kyle Pitts. God, that'd be gross. Even though they have O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate, and maybe Gronk will be back, but probably not. But yeah, I don't see it. Like, Trask is an absolute stick in the mud. He cannot move. Arm strength is pretty good, but also hasn't quite been pressed into vertical duty in that college offense. But I don't know. Like, maybe BA does like the YOLO side a little bit. So 27. So you got the Jets. This is the pick that they got from Seattle in the Jamal Adams trade. So they're taking Nick Bolton, linebacker, out of Mizzou. Now, tackling machine, great in coverage as well. He is really Eric Kendricks adjacent, so you do like seeing that. 28. You got the Bills going cornerback, rebuilding that Leslie Frazier defense. You like to see it. So the Bills taking Asante Samuel Jr. out of Florida State, where nice little cornerback opposite of Tre'Davious White, smallish, but can be a lockdown guy from the slot. And since nickel is the new base defense anyway, he's basically a starter. Next up, 29. So this one's annoying. Rondale Moore, do it all, do everything, playmaker. And yeah, Drew Brees is deceased. Jameis might be the quarterback of the future, but probably not. Taysom might be the quarterback of the future, but probably not. I think if Kyle Trask had gotten to this point, I think they would have taken him. But Rondale Moore is the guy who can do it all as a return man, as a running back, as a wide receiver. Just, I hate it. Hated it. 30. Steelers. So Joe Hayden and company getting a little bit older, getting a little bit long in the tooth, as well as going to be out of contract relatively soon. But Darian Kendrick, the former 5-star wide receiver coming out of Clemson, converted to cornerback, because Steelers are always so good at drafting wide receivers. So they're like, hey, we may as well draft a wide receiver cornerback as well. Woo! 31. So the Packers finally take themselves a wide receiver. So Chris Olave from Ohio State. Sort of a meh year this year. Only played in 5 games, but 48 catches, 840 yards, and 12 touchdowns last year. I think he'd be a nice compliment to Devontae Adams, who's not as good as Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson, for the octogenarian Aaron Rodgers and the 12-year-old boy. 32. So the Chiefs. Elijah Vera Tucker, who I really like out of USC, just a meat and potatoes guard going forward. And yeah, crazy. Like, even if you have Pat Mahomes, you do need some protection up front. I mean, because you're starting Mike Remmers right now. But so guys who didn't get drafted. So a little bit surprising, Azeez Ujulari from Georgia. Oweh, Ojulari, sort of in the same bracket, sure. Davion Nixon, I think, might be the only defensive tackle who has a shot of being taken in the first round this year. Maybe Barmore. Maybe. Zavon Collins, the linebacker out of Tulsa, didn't get drafted. I think him and Nick Bolton sort of go back and forth. Kadarius Toney from Florida, I don't think he's going to make it in the first round. Jalen Phillips, the edge rusher, number 15, who transferred in from UCLA and replaced Gregory Rousseau. Guy has had a ton of production this year for the Canes. He may sneak into the first round. Wyatt Davis, of course, no matter what. Our guy. It speaks a ton that I would have been fine taking Slater or Wyatt Davis or Vera Tucker. I mean, guys who went later in the first round, or Davis not at all, at 13. I mean, that just speaks to the solidness at the top of this draft. Barmore, who we mentioned, Joseph Asai, J.C. Horn, the cornerback out of South Carolina, Etienne, but of course, PFF hates running backs, so Terrace Marshall Jr., the other wide receiver from LSU, as well as Dylan Moses, the sort of do-it-all linebacker from Alabama. So there's always going to be snubs, right? But that's what's crazy, because I think that you're going to find that there will probably end up being like 50 to 55 guys who, if they go in the first round, you'd be like, yeah, not shocking. I mean, this is a great draft as well, especially day 2 and early day 3, which is fortunate because the Vikings are going to have potentially 6 picks in rounds 3 and 4, pending on trading up once they get their compensatory picks. So it'll be good to go. But yeah, Gregory Rousseau, again, I like it. I would get on board with it. It could be a position of need. Well, it definitely is a position of need, depending on what happens and what you think about Wanham going forward. But yeah, just leaving all those offensive linemen on the board, I don't know, man. But your thoughts and our thoughts and their thoughts. PFF's mock draft, our guy Austin Gayle, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.